Ebusia memo kwa aba enfama K Black Media. Ebusia court update de call and ebusia ye breaki na wo hu de call ebusia and a court was setena a free break make say e so ene eba court say ya ene report wa ye ba ya enkra anase free heba e kire se ensem bia e ya na efa awaresem ho efa said ye fa court wa wade a yenim se emraka no ne ba ye nananom eso wade a ye friend traditional marriage ni so a ene nei ohimpo baako atimi abegyina daka mu a ene wo kire ekwa ye be fresi a ye fa so wale obi anase ye jai obi abusua ene nkomodie no bebre ene ekoso ne nei lawyer baako from Maame Akosua Serwah camp enso atimi the court details about marriage ene watimi this how report wey atimi abekire mu e wo court abusua enkyeremu no de mesa so obeta bituku na wotie nananom ene lawyer fo enhyehyɛ ya na se mbra efa aware ho ankasa abusua yentie na afoforo enso enye bi hwɛ
questions about something that is not going on. Johnny letter the buy Lumba accepted. Okay. Now he should have responded to that letter. I want to shot here with friend saying incommodate by formal situations. Wrong. The Lumba the letter buyer. Now we shall reply. I don't know. You better judge him, not judge across examination. Why cross examination about the situation? What's going on? But the Lumba and the legal teams almost call it silent and bluff. Okay. But the beautiful thing is say, Maame no osandi shemu say in krataya media mawi. Say me the mao now I accept here. You cannot use it against me. I'm not friendly BB. I've forgotten the terminology, not the shame. No. Which mean far the way and ginaso and use you against me. That is the clause esheletan. Okay. And for them to call it a bluff, which is also part of the legal procedure, no, it makes that letter not working because it's just an intentional letter. You understand? Now, as for say a marriage, you know, a proceed, you know, it's in the hands of the woman because I don't know the call. You know, if lawyers come say, "Maame, ukuno," or reply, or then, "Oh, the munya chairman or the woman in America," yeah, it's there because every woman threatens a man. So we share what him, which is normal legally, which is normally done traditionally. You know, there's no issue. But I didn't say, oh,
Meja umpayamba national anthem. Obe maybe
exactly.
Serious.
Exactly. It's a normal thing. It's in the Akosua. What was it? Customary marriage, you know. They cannot drag it with Maame Akosua. Why? Because ordinance marriage comes to cancel customary marriage. What I say? Ordinance marriage. Oh yeah, customary marriage. The Ghana Constitution and the law protects that marriage, which makes it a legit protected. Okay, ordinance. Now ordinance be traffic the enemy. It's na some and your more tradition. Me, I don't even understand. Okay, we shouldn't even go there, but interrogation.
Hold on, no. Or him be by church, you say. Yeah, ordinance now and try if you did because me problem can see I'm no me coach ordinance.
Okay.
But still no I'm catch me say fear dear na me den sakwa and bushafo so no mountain hono. I'm still married. And that's my biggest problem. Yes.
Okay, so this is what it is. Ghana customer Ghana to me a friend is saying ordinance straight. Ura ordinance you better catch yourself not creating tension with the family. Mun come together, let the family know that when you fear the answer. Okay, that is Ghana your custom. What I say? As soon as I call your ordinance in the fear the no it automatically. What I say? That is how it is. If you study the marriage law no in Ghana, that's how it works. Okay, you know, ordinance, you know, supersede traditional marriage.
Men can be kids will be found candy or kind. But I won't say, they're not quite to say, Adia, I am mostly no much now soon drink now, Modemano. And you know, the moments are two families, no, but one son can't drink beer, they still assume say you are still married.
And
okay,
they wicked.
Yeah, they don't know.
I don't sound my back.
One.
That's my problem right here.
Yeah, they don't know. Our traditional our traditional leaders don't know this thing. Okay. If I stand to be corrected, but they don't know. Say, okay, ordinance, a traffic it's into our go by again some bushing some a quarter some. So what I say, that is how it is.
Yeah, but Pap, I just say, I would say the last time, na many my sister Baku chief near catch you say. I don't almost say 3 types of marriages.
Yeah.
Consent from both families. So call your ordinance. It shouldn't be a ceremony activity just like the old or traditional way. So concept in bit me families ne be no or matter say oh yemba no some person worry but more person worry abemu nti yin na ye kwa abemu akọ support mo ho court ne ka so mu mo consent ameba pap meba
yeah
meba court ka so mu hia family consent and omun ka say koye ye can say traditional marriage you and someone bawo. That is not what he says. The law says. But that has been the practice. I feel say no na ye right. And unti na ye wa ha no. Nti on say sister no catch us omo si we twa court die no musu ifie die no ye ntwa mu ye. Because ifie no omo ya aware ye friend no customary marriage ankasa. Ena ye family bia na obeka kwaje ne ba aware obeka cho se fetisi kabra. Obi o ba obeka cho se maji watu mu dia nse hwe me ba su ye mami. Nowadays, most of the wealthy men, they don't even take these things. It shouldn't be necessary to say, Yajiwatum in San Sisu, and yet by force. So when you acquire style now, nature say, who you are, one Casano, who Baba Akakoya, nature say, Wako Wari war. If he Ankasankasa, I think a lawyer is a bit maybe Sano. A compose you obey a custom, the answer, Wabba court there. Cause confusing. I didn't 3 times. Me choose your ordinance. I didn't know say me coffee. Call yes, ceremony. I fear the answer.
Yeah, wouldn't say ordinance marriage. You know, you can do ordinance marriage without family.
But your quick intervention.
Okay, bro.
Me a full look at crazy, but say what pastor is saying, he's on track. Yeah, me kakra mbese me dey kan say customary marriage. You know, kwa your ordinance now. It is not cancelled. It is rather converted. So instead of saying I cancel,
it's converted.
It has rather metamorphosed into ordinance marriage. It is sister now, I can say, Exp0sed say I cancel certificate in Okra, still customary marriage is subsisting. We can pardon them out of ignorance. Because I deserve maybe
in this type of my situation, no. The nipa ni who are ne sasa bedi mecha no say yeah because ye nko separate here from Exp0sed momu to soon science no the boy papa no
spiritual matters yeah, I can't talk about spiritual matters, but lawfully no embrasem near candia there's nothing like customary marriage again. So when you have you sign the ordinance certificate.
Yeah.
It will say, Oko court now, Oko Nam court no granted divorce now. No, be catcher say, won't find somewhere. What does he area? What the chamber, Beman would not cause Oko Japade, and one of who don't be catcher. Out of ignorance and inconvenience, no more they can say. You say, me no our any ordinance, and we answer Messana in Sambro Busan for say, you know, I could more court and Saji once. There is nothing in San Baby, but some we are. Yeah, a superfluous. Any effect properly a marriage. So I can try intervention and person.
Joe Pacho, Mambiso Massam, Aboda Miache, Joe Benko, Mambiso Massam in Pacho. Joe, Miss Serwah, so Obi Peso worry purely on the ordinance side. What does the law say about it?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Joe. Hello, Joe.
Hello?
Yeah, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me say, my question me say
yes.
So be me person me worry on the ordinance side. Me person me ka koye fansabra for BD collabras. I am me person me go straight to ordinance straight without even going to convert and those things law no ka sen wo ho nhihye ben na law no ye ma me wo ho procedure ben no se me fa so.
Oh, yes, ordinance marriage, it does not begin with customary marriage. Once you choose that type, say court now na. Parties in
Lawyer, good morning.
Good morning.
Me pacho, what to say?
I'm here Domboko.
Me dance pass our phone na oba be boy a church name. Pacho ya na what about why? Busia for one give the lawyer mame why? Yamia ya dum. Mon give to the mommy. Mr. Remo. On your man in your fe. Why? Mon give to the mommy. Now mon repost it. Why? More question more frustro. No request. No about. Now the lawyer be didn't come. Why? But what your man in your one after the other. Open so busa the bibia. What? Now the nakasa. Why? But what your? Obi anse mommy. That's.
So what I was saying is mobile ordinance marriage now. The sorry the na ya we call na so for aka kire say o monko ye fie ye no empamra ansana bia mobile start counseling this other things no o my say because they believe say the person comes from a family anya obi na ahwe no obi na agbo no ho ka na bedru be so wontimi nkofa na asase de na wo de na court di mreka ekosan anything na ya o mo demand for animal but legally speaking there so be ordinance here customary marriage. The union is a parties in the mobile court na mako fill form. Mo fill form new year. It will contain mobile data within a free name, age name, Juma away, any status, CB away single, away a bachelor, and away a Spencer, and away a divorcee, and away a widow. Near fill that information, and near Yajo Ghana card, and now any identity there. We are, they be publishing a free BB bands. Bands in a publishing at 21 days. One do go court to notice board. Baby, our reform will be a fee at the week of Boho. Preferably, be so our human and our sorry, the mamma de Biaco to notify the general public, say, any pass messy, they intend to get married. It is a Obi objection be an answer, Obi BB Tias our arena, any Panameka. A publishes are banned now. After 21 days, baby, I did be boy. When they consent because I sorry had there will be any objection to the marriage, and I don't had will be any objection. Sorry, will be friendly, but marketing. And so once the bans is published for the 21 days, now objection be a man. Most alcohol registrar, they will just give you a date for you to come. Number be sign. On that day, no, is the two of you, any will be a witness is 2-2. And I'm remember. You practically know, here only 4 people to join you, no more be since I'm one day, no more certificate at the court. And so to know, it does not necessarily have to be or relatives and answer parents. Say they are uncle for can because I didn't remember testifying. They are only testifying to the fact say they were present and saw the two of you sign the certificate. And in the presence of both of them, they also signed as witnesses. It is a BBC now say we be because our arena and you know certificate no cry fake and I say yeah. More witnesses na be a be from more backward. I be testify say a genuine certificate and I say a genuine marriage and all my. That's the whole essence. It's no way to my ordinance without necessarily being customary and some no convert it.
Okay. Because last night I come about na be mu nti as almost still now say oko fie ni ade because almost oko court cry court be catch say ko ye fie die na bra ansana. I don't see because we because me read about it no say we explaining as I am catch but almost oko court be say ko ye fie die na ade ansa waba.
And you know,
one say when you go through the church, once the court also give mandates to the church for ordinance marriage signature.
Marriage officer's certificate.
Yes. And you know, so go through the church, you know,
no. I'm insist. So
no,
insist say
yes.
Ko ye fie dia ansa na.
I court never catch it out.
Court there omu hia sam
Yeah.
Provided some because a marriage, they call it as a contract, a special contract. So once the two of
Lawyer.
you are established, you can undertake it. Yes.
Oh yeah, me
Yes.
patch
Lawyer,
me
I'm
me
pastor,
bisa
maybe
quick
say,
akra.
sweet one, my
Oh
mimi,
sorry.
Mr. Quick, Mr.
Okay.
My Mr. Quick. Lawyer, who say couples never.
Mm-hmm.
Now they are dinner ball 21 days now.
Mm-hmm.
When you sure say, any paper baby, sir. How
Mm-hmm.
do people know say such people mabaho so more be worry? Because about Hong Kong. And I don't think say every day any paper tripping in so more be searching for more worry. So me to me no. Does it really worth it? Say kobo 21 days. And also sometimes me who say sorry for the crowd make impact. Because every Sunday people are going. But I want to do people check Saturday no?
When him say
Thank you.
Ghana Hano, we are taking them away for granted. Ordinarily, I also ran up as a called notice board. Now could read the oh. Aha. So say yeah, the BB board court notice board no so it is presumed say it has been announced to the general public. I didn't know at times yeah man and called notice board no kwa. You better say baby I will be man out no. Fabiko bo fi anim. Baby I will about no Fabiko bo fi anim. Na ebia baby amoye adwuma. Ebi wa make I say my sister there were immigration officer. Omo mane di bi ko bo immigration headquarters. A honi nyina na at the end of the day no after 21 days near ma omo je consent letter from those offices na kire say ye de bo on objection bia anye de. Ama it no it's a presumption in there e wo hono. Ti say as to say obi hu ana hu ni there. The law is silent on it.
Yeah, yeah, in fact, it's all in town. One say anybody can come to the court to, ebia, obabe court no kwedu. To the court, you should say the NHL say media more public. You know, the other babo be and announce that regardless of so be foul, being foul, and no na court ni be you sue against you who is coming to contend with him. With the court, no. There, I have announced it, and it's your duty to look for notices everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, say, ABR, Bema no air train plan. That's what it will be. Baby, I don't know, be our baby. Not only Pacono Betria. Yes, you also obey Bema if you say notice in a bibo, if you subo bad, she a bibo touch.
Yes.
You know, if you're not train plan, sorry, no, we be subo. You know, Ghana black people, we don't like reading. That's the thing.
Exactly so.
Let me say, me say me packing kind now I can margins of the yes.
Papsi asem ya mukia. Osi yama o notice maybe the kobo ufie. Mo amwa.
Yeah.
Me pa cho me ama maybe. Me obi
register
fan kobo bi.
Register any discretion.
Yeah.
And so ibu omo fa ma wo kra me boy e be ma bailiff na dia ba say wa ma house number. It will ho a bailiff no. And I can say mostly they presume say oh maba honey there means you guys are ready to do it. And obi wo kra mpo na omo ye shege no. Woni bailiff no wait my one. Or the be bo ho na no I take a photograph. No asati. Obeti afiri ho no. Ti obi ahu mu be hu ase o my awie. Obeba na bailiff no be ka so me de ko bo ho evidence ni. No wo ni e na bo ho no. It has to say a tariho and I enter on. Oh, backwards now become someone. You are forever shut.
Yeah.
Sanity.
Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Maybe some question. Say a castle will be a desert to be a. I see anything.
Desertion is
a South Mukakrama man 40.
Desertion is a free. So, no matter
say, Maame, Akosua Serwah, any daddy lumba. Me no hand the free fee.
Oh, it depends on where they presume to be their matrimonial home. The only matrimonial home, no one is deserting a young.
Okay.
In this instance, mean to me, say Ghana and your matrimonial home, and I Germany matrimonial home. However, it is not also always the case that they were free feeling a desert. If you are na what if you no what I know how lomo jata mama if you know more or less like a place I want to meet na Ha say maybe if you na dey be akuka when me ko we me say ya. Let me feel on the basis of treatment now the mama now. Constructively, you need to say maybe there too. Woman now why nema lead to desertion because if we continue to stay with you, ebe cause be a danger to my health and also my life. So
Yeah.
sorry.
And then is there a time limit? Is there a time frame? Say be a obi desert will be a within the time frame be say one na contact. One na share baby and nin komo any idea it me bundle for desertion.
So desertion two. Say only nipa na atena for the last 2 years no. Yeah, I'm atena together no. Yeke kambo mu a enduru 6 months it is presumed say what deserting. Obu wa on share them free. Ebi a adwuma wo ye bi a adwuma wo kuma se ba ya transfer no kwa Accra.
Yeah.
Ni a woni fie no enye because wa sheda. So
yeah.
But say nipa wa sheda free woni no hear about. Now for the past 2 years tena matena bom no ye kan bom a in 6 months that is say nipa na desert and I say what deserting. If you want to go for divorce what they will do is say 2 years you need the other party's consent. Now if I file a petition now what state will say for the last 2 years we have not stayed together as husband and wife, and from it doesn't appear say forever or we'll come back to stay together as husband and wife. Yeah. The other party has consented that if you go for
Thank
the
you, Femi.
so we say
Lawyer, Maame, why?
Oh, that's it. So if it turns out say the other party no at say baby agree any to be and find baby, you can go to court for the marriage to be dissolved. However, say 2 years, maybe 5 years. That's we stay together as husband and wife.
Thank you.
The other person no consent.
Yeah, you can go straight to.
You guys are making me shy. Oh. So desertion is a 5 years, yeah. You don't need the other party's consent.
Yeah, you can go straight.
You can go straight and do a divorce. However, I say the first way desert or no, it does not metamorphose into divorce. Unless still won't take steps.
To get the certificate cancelled. What do you got?
If I try to say, so we take steps to get the certificate cancelled. That is when divorce will come in. Because desertion is grounds for divorce.
Yeah,
okay. You don't need to give any other explanation. And also, I can change judge. They say in your petition, what state you say, nipa no worry on this date. But for the last 5 years, we have not lived together as husband and wife. Yeah. The look of things, it is not likely we will come back again to live as husband and wife. So we are praying to the honorable court to grant us divorce. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Lawyer, me pacho, me pese obuaye, o educate on something. Me pacho me ba, me that question.
Auntie, if you my in kasa why?
Yeah. Me pacho me say o educate on something.
Okay.
Sometimes there are marriage arrangements. What I say? If you are yare, if you are jumasem, me know about agreement. Say okay, and the kohana koye jumano. Nenye way, ni ade. If you are not back, will lose interest. And untino. Yaba in agreement. Na yes arrangement. If it me take advantage of that as an evidence, what I say, Eddie we are divorce. What advice can you give us? Say yeah, marriage arrangement. What can we do? Any evidence? Such maybe BBC. I show.
Who say marriage life there? You decide on what works for you. You need blueprint on how to stay married and I say how to conduct your affairs during marriage. It is a arrangement say me metena kumasi aye adwuma wo setena Accra. Se menya leave a member and I say during weekends member. Once consistently you have lived like that no. Say later ba ko pese ogina so e divorce and yes, I can any agent. They are who file a petition. the other person will also have the right to file an answer to your petition. So in the answer, no state say, oh, my lady, and my lord, a special arrangement upon marriage, say, due to some economic reasons, because when you marry, you still have the right to economic life. You have the right to work. Me papa di me akọ law school, also Maame do akọ law school. The fact say our no, and say stop being a lawyer and come and be my housewife. So if your law firm is in Kumasi na me there wa Accra, na say me dey ati ho say we are all going to stay at our various places. But when it's convenient, we will come together and do what married couples do. Who they are say any grounds for divorce? I will also lead evidence to show say no, my lady. Arrangement I mean yeah agree. See be. So say who they no bad begin so say in go because you have lost interest. The Lord based on evidence, I mean, but I say witnesses, I make all your they will come and corroborate maybe side of the story, say arrangement, I did that. And you have not found any problem with it until now. To say, overcall for divorce, I could be for any other grounds and not desertion. Because grounds for divorce, apart from desertion, there were separation and casasoho, and there were adultery, and there were unreasonable behavior. Unreasonable behavior, and to say the general basket. Any day, Bibia Komubi. So what I say. Mostly we go to court on the basis of unreasonable behavior. Any day, the Nipana Yebia Asha Obuphobia, and answer why Yebia Ompebia, ultimately come. Say, it is not befitting of a married man, and I say married woman, to be doing A, B, C, D. So what I say. Maka also in my mom paying for album, or Moka is also in. So I find that behavior very intolerable to live with. So on the basis of that, me person court no, you go away no my. But I won't mean call under decision. Why you know say, mummy no my special arrangement say obi antenna the baby. So but and during that arrangement, more maybe once every month be an ibishia, and twice every month ibishia. However, most start a process no after some time no. Sir agreement na why say ibishia no. Se do so awko, edu ono no so awoma. And I also share before now so jaiko. That is when you can now come in and say, oh, pay the arrangements na they say obi antina the baby, but week be every 2 weekends be ibishia. Or baba kwa the following 2 weekends mesumeko. But for the past be 2 years omba. So then I heard the be out the call on that tangent that the law can be on your side. If actually clear.
Clear.
Me pacho, me bisa bibi kitu ebi akande okaye ho. Na yes me no obi wo na me sheda any reason bi na me bisa me no nipa ni jai keka. Means me jai na.
Munchi na bisa question no.
Me sheda any reason but I don't want to be there anymore. Me pese me jai.
It's your right. The mechanism, who say you call under unreasonable behavior na. Any a general basket. Say me na me your lawyer. Oba meet map a reason amount. So what I say. Meet my car and say, oh, my lady, and I, my lord, or that on Sorrentem, or Sorra on lay bed, or per concern, or per phone, sutana, they be a married woman, not a TikTok. All those things, I find it intolerable to live with, and on a case by case basis. Adia, Ubidi, and Kuna, and I say, TikTok can you free for me before problem.
Asamato.
There must be always a reason.
Objection, my lord. Objection, cancel. Objection, cancel.
So what we are saying is, Adebi and Nipan here share bufubiano. It comes under because I mean you are my wife, my point Jumaba. You've been in the house the whole day. Time I say be a camino be have a family affair, be have a conversation. Now to TikTok live. Because I want now me see. I feel be banamada. Consistently, it has been going on. My calling Crawford so mbe tufu. Be a me there to papa him, and I me there to a pastor him so tufu because I am not happy with that lifestyle. But you are not willing to change. That is when it will come in. And yes, be a one time pen and me free Jumaba. Now we are TikTok live Nintina media. So I'll have to let the court understand say this thing that you are doing, it is having a negative toll on me. Be a physically and not emotionally. You don't appear to be emotionally available. So the mekano udu tine ejiso bibisa sa ade we na wabumanichi although so once two people from different homes are coming together definitely there will be rough edges. So maybe there are certain things you may not know say grounds for divorce. But make maka is all that crowd and cromododo. What do I say? I find that intolerable to live with. Maka se pedro so umpe. Sana nyamia bo. Mesumin to me no be on cromonda because a band sa mesumin to me than internet is having a negative toll on my health. So it's unreasonable behavior and a big basket. Who did do? We are doing here those things no. It's easy for you to go on that tangent. Tinu untimi nkoko tenka say many reason bia.
Yeah, the doctor, doctor, lawyer, you see, and then I make say, ordinance marriage, when you're mature, that you cannot do that.
Exactly.
When you're tolerable, you cannot. When you to me have nonsense, you cannot, because when him say what the no opa no ka say me pa chow me sorry. Opa no ka say who the German nka. Okay? Yes. Anything can come in, and you're right. You know, say it's a big basket. You know, and maybe I just send the out me. You're not send my. Who careful as a man, as a woman who come why careful because I can say and your dress your contract as a muy business. You know, because all the all the award na sa company na your friend court me so all manage amount. All the question is and was ama umra wo ho. Oh yeah, no one you so better punish work on. That is how it is. It's a free affair issue. And I'm lawyer and make a boy. Yes.
Okay,
you
lawyer.
Come on, think twice.
Okay, lawyer Mpacho, Mamimbisa way real quick. Lawyer Mpacho say couples mienu worry in their marriage. Na say enfan say oba kofa bema kofa eba bi fi abontimba. Na oba so kofa eba bi fi abontimba. Samba mienu no. Nkwala mienu no. In terms say bia omo change apade asa mba mienu ni na no. Do they qualify and I say bema ne de nkwa na ye qualify. Because most of the time you say eba ne say omo ye ne say bema de buy normal ba oba de buy anya normal. But you want betimi a kire mu kakra in law as in ordinance aware mu.
Epacho, who say ordinance marriage no. You better say akwala no. Mo before the marriage and I say after the marriage.
After the marriage.
So after the marriage, evidence of adultery. Akwala ni evidence of adultery.
Okay.
What I say, and the law says that say we are married, no so commit adultery. Now me person me jail on the basis of adultery. Now I am permitted to do so by filing my petition within 6 months upon discovery of your adulterous behavior.
Okay.
He said, me no boy your mind matana on 6 months apart. After 1 year, why am be before Ashimino? I've been able to court to me in a way, your man for a boy, your man. The court will not allow you. That is what people do. Once you find out, say Nipana committee adultery, say 6 months, one found quite means you have agreed, say you want to stay married to the person. And in law, no, say ye charge apadia, two things is either said back and I say move go away. See, go away. Property acquired in the course of the marriage. No? Children have no share in it. Just the two parties. And there's a audio share. Now the vocal command so the vocal that one is my back case. However, say Nipa Baku I say ye change up at the Nipa na anya well there. And the PNDC law 111 they make it provision for children. In law, no, there is nothing like an illegitimate child. Once it is presumed say the child belongs to one of the parties. The person is entitled to a share. If you are Maame and papa no dey onya share, but akwala no dey, this MCC Mauna, maybe I may buy one. Now all of a sudden another person shows up with another child. So any person is meaning a way. The child has a right to inherit a portion of my estate. That goes to the children. One only legitimate wife no man, on be equal. But
okay,
our we don't consider children in respect of
lawyer may tell say adultery no enye mba nkwan ye dey sa charge no bomu mbe ma so yetimi de bomu as say wa so akoko ba bi aba.
Yes, Evidence of adultery must be presented within 6 months.
Okay.
What do I say?
Into my if ya and I ask them na can no say no. Mene
Yeah,
o, your point
adultery,
no.
lawyer, adultery ni be more say infidelity to account. And
Say no any infidelity in any adultery. No.
Adultery.
all right.
Okay. Because lawyer na ma me bi say ni say o mama na it say in be man de ye ba normal in
It's not
ordinance.
normal. See, ordinance
Very good.
one
Thank you,
man,
lawyer.
one wife. One man, one wife.
Matia.
Anything so here a MCA Act, a Matrimonial Causes Act now. Grounds for divorce no one that the marriage has broken down beyond reconciliation. So section 2:1 no it's the grounds for which you can use to determine, and I said the court will use to determine say the marriage has indeed broken down beyond reconciliation. First one is adultery.
Good.
So which applies to both sides. If you are meaning so committed adultery, but a bam but macho, if you are true or WhatsApp chat with someone, and I say minimipakura when a committed adultery now. In my petition, I can mention the person's name. Say minim say only as me see a crimpna or do a banyamba muno. It is my evidence I'm a wono. Ebia say evidence in a WhatsApp chatter me the beba. Say you see recently I'm doing one for my client and no evidence of adultery no. Oban minim de to no. I say we no obi atwempna sia na say omudi anniversary so mo ye den yo. Na why WhatsApp audio recording describing how they met, the circumstances through which they met, how she has been having fun with him and all those times. What recording in 7 minutes audio, no, they send him man. Unfortunately, my client saw it. I didn't know attach it. Say, okay, say this kind of conversation took place between Asimesi and Asimesi. Me they call Institute of Languages, transcribe audio recording into writing. Obi abetimi aka ehun say nipa no say ni no aka audio no say when nipa na ntwempna there is no way say ka obe sending this audio recording or WhatsApp, and that is our grounds. So ya bo nipa ni din the phone number aba, the court can go and verify or betimi asupini no. So until I say o joining into the suit then cross examine no sanity. It's adultery in both sides. And you be man kwan committee adultery and now ban kwan committee adultery.
Okay. Into dog. Mpacho, my last question. Maybe Sabio. Mpacho. Into the 6 months, is it on discovery? To say bia, akwala be 2 years, but me ne 2 years mu after the mete. That me mete na.
Yes.
Me file right.
When it came, say grounds in say the husband has committed adultery or the wife has committed adultery. And you find it very intolerable to live with. Okay. Say, you are meeting me. We say they be who or TikTok live. We can say me the last thing about me jam me your mind because the memory in I pay. But we so her and in the last card, one person obeyed it. We who's why. So the question is, the person has done it, but do you find it intolerable to live with? That's the question. So once it has come to your notice. Now I can 6 months it means you don't have any problem with it. It's going to mean after say you found out no can crabia mato KB and I say mato Benz back with the apatao. What you Benz now for 5 years. Now Messiah will be kakrebi now be jamia what the an adultery in the backgrounds. Uba lawyer and because say say my camp how long in here? Once you say, oh, back 2 years ago, no, it means you find it tolerable to live with. Won't mean for no may excuse. Because you
Okay, dog, me that's it.
Miss Medasi.
I'm back to a question. Be my mimbisa. Almost say, young fan say. Problems for our remu when na say omumbia am file for divorce na say ebia nipa ba ko tisa me be ma na mo girl bi se one side na say bia mi wo a ma ware because of the problems no ba yan file sa ware no egu ana
problems be a man go to court and get it dissolved, and I say be a woman go and get it dissolved. Our Arabian know our problems in him and the law recognizes that. In the Bua, Oba Crampona say, excuse now or dey man and share them to us more. Judge never to recommend counseling. And I say bit to say monko ADR na monko attempt settlement. And I bit to refer me say oh monko humu pastor. It has happened several times. Me case be on my ponting. Yako na asema be man can say ono na ire no wonsi ni nema ompra onye aduane. Sa unreasonable behavior na American. But I could do na judge ne kan say I me wunim dia me die me kunu. That's what me nchen. So I don't think this marriage cannot be faced. So monko counseling. But just that na be man who are making the mind up say on pe obani bim. Omoko counseling but omoko EDR but omoko e na. Sanity. But you answer question.
Pacho answer.
Okay.
Now are there punishments for more
No, so question you say or say young fan say Obama na call baby be 2 years. But no nim until that. Afa no what here. Onka say be ohun ye 2 years ni. O say Obama na ni
So the 6 months they start from that. But the day it came to your notice.
That what no.
Aha, and then as I did na countdown starting.
Oh, okay.
What I say? And yes, age. Say near committee, say I mean, we know to Ghana now, make a conference in US, but now we know we are over. But then, aha, I is a parana 18 years, no, about so very. I'm
fine.
Over 18 to mean to international now. Aha. So it starts from when it got to your notice.
So lawyer, I was saying, PNDC law, no, my constitution, no, it's to say, Obia or Barney Beman, me, Union, more ones will be a demand, a physical. And the young fan said, Aqua Quatna, and Marachi Chilemi, some of desertion.
Oh, say.
Because me Majuma so no Majuma wa ha no me jatu wa sabe adwuma no me ya me nya adwuma no bi ana sa me so me lose ka wa se nya bosumi bi ana se me de hwe me
for mon gift lawyer Maame why mon gift lawyer Maame mon to gift manu mama yes for the comment section. Person who lawyer be a request. Why? Mon give to the Maame.
Thank you. If I don't say earlier, no, make I say family arrangement. Yeah, you need blueprint, and I see need for kakra ya fi the bramientina. Now I can't say oh there be. Then you start here and young corners are. That is when the countdown for the decision begins.
Okay.
New decision and new automatic until say any of you decide say obey edgy and I say obey insist say if you come together now.
Okay.
And I say if you na yira unim know about you. What I say? Unim the number unim mo fra enko. Over the mission India obi as unim baby owo. Has just vanished. What goes to is an idea. And irrespective of initial arrangement and number one.
Okay. That's it. Okay. And then make a for Mama will be in Swaba.
Very well. But actually, about 11, I'm free soon. You're meeting your home. Let's take note.
Yeah, and lawyer, Maame bisa me so my last question. I mean, see.
Yeah.
When it comes to a friend saying o de yen call a yi kakra a friend say customary marriage.
Okay.
Say customary marriage na ma be ma no chance e ma no worry do up e me boa.
Exactly so.
It you know say oba first wife no. And then e protecting say oni be ma na ye japade na dokofo oba foforo ba na akola bi be mu a japade ne che no. Any problem. And then like a protecting no. Say bia or register or your registration, my customary registration now. That the date on the certificate helps the woman. Say bia if any say property aba now Bema no talk for aba in the demise of Bema no and I say I will go back and then they protect that first woman.
Well, properties that are deemed shareable no, properties acquired in the course of the marriage. So
okay.
It is a man worry me first. Worry me we no in a self-contained back wa hojo. Yeto VIP bus adwuma mai. But after this can be door so no. And was I worry second wife abeka ho. So now after second wife no buy no. Yes I acquire other properties. It is in case me jawa first property two now me no year and second wife in no. Those ones I have the right to demand up to 50% of it.
Okay.
But subsequent ones in it because you be me no, I can only take up to be a 33.3%.
Okay.
To be my share because the other wife no so no. E was share no e ho no. You didn't go 50% na ya short change oba ba no. So, it be a first na me no nko na eda. And I mean kwa na me ye aduane ma. But this time menya rival. Me ye this week I want to see the following week. Other men change this week other the other side. So it now becomes a 3 sets problem. It's one one won't be demanded 50%. But the year before say first wife a second wife you have the right to demand up to 50%. Right. That is what the law guarantees.
Okay. Maame bisa another question for side chicks.
Okay.
If I told my girl be me person me na me didn't throw say me worry. My dad and say me worry. And again also atias again or ebia or naive. Oni mo bi akobisa na mase ni wo hu say ebia ampase me wo yere na me my dad and na wo any ade right? And na metumi aye me de be ma no enum kasa. Ebetumi aye dachi bi no surprise bi epia. Ebetumi abo me ho ban as sa oba na be ma no abeda me o me ne tia minim lechi.
The earlier marriage na then why customary and ordinance.
Me pacho yemfa ne say bia why ordinance and I say ordinance. We dey yemfa ne tight corner. Yemfa ne tight corner ordinance.
So why ordinance no? Why ordinance at your blind side no? Now when not now what sacrifice youthful years ni nyina won nchen we no. There's something we call breach of promise to marry.
Okay.
What I say? One of the grounds you call court for breach of promise to marry, say when you discover that the intended spouse is already married, forgive me, is already married to another person.
Okay.
I say. So it means that once that marriage is ordinance, no, mean to me, will be
okay.
But I made a promise to you that I'll marry you. But from the look of things, say me already say me could divorce first wife now. There is no way I can marry you. So the law allows you to sue such a man on the grounds of breach of promise to marry. And the law
Maame clear on the question now side checks I'm say omo ye hu akagam. We side checking the onim say waware right? What do onim say?
No, actually say oh, say ni pan kwa ware won't me ware me be man nye you have wasted my time. I demand damages. It in mess you under breach of promise to marry. Say oh,
okay.
Mine as a time I started say me new date in the ma hu say oh, asimesi cry say omo pem you. So ja omo me ana me ware. So what I say, Tino, what am I spending me?
Law say about 11 now. Obe free platform no so Exp0sed Momo be a chance. Obi a bar on kasa 2 minutes don't see.
All right, Council. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, sweet to our be said, Mammy, some then be a time. Why? For time to
Okay.
Me
And then me more be at me mau 2 minutes me pa cho.
Mobia 2 minutes.
me patch good there 2 minutes there ale.
Okay,
Lawyer be call 11 otie. Lawyer be call 11 aka 15 minutes.
Lawyer me patch o mimbisa sembi. Me sister.
Emma so we
Ano ne bema eye ordinance. Aware ni bi.
Okay.
Na womu eye no. In the course of the marriage no. It's like abuse ne na asefo. Na we minya kranka betumi aye because a true story na make and nka back we bi anka. Very glad but all the same no. Na yekoba and is abuse wo mu na ekoye say nyame nko like we nearly lost our lovely one you know. Eba sa no ana separation be mu ana obi ase onye ompene bi but separation be mu no be ma no ono na say sesi ano omo konkotwem a ono say aware no kra ni endi mu but omo sign e wo court ama witnesses ko sign e what you say but sesi ano obi at ni baby but ono ni oba foforote nti enu say no minua ne da so ye legally wife ana
say certificate ni valid nko and there that's your wife.
Yeah, so almost signing or court.
Almost signing or court no. So the issue is that enye compulsory say me enko. Now also onko a chese meet me your sister alone has the right to go to court. Obekwa ko file a petition no. Obekwa ko serve no. The serving and that's why the law allows for a one-sided dissolution. So I say, yeah, best say we say, oh, me the petition about court say me jail. If you choose not to enter appearance, that won't file one answer. No, no, mommy coin. I'm a my one-sided divorce. Let me jail. However, so one yes, sir. That's a Beman wako ware of a ordinance. That is when the issue of bigamy comes in. Because ordinance, you don't have the right to marry another person. But one yes, I'm a man, and I say Beman free more in the eyes of the law. You are still married. Honey, I can say. Now, a conscience over the letter and spirit of the law. No? That is when it will come in. Now, the Basana, Nipana, one only not all the wifely duties. No? One in our court recognizing and I say, Ukuta only the certificate. As it stands now, it is the certificate that overrides any other thing that you have done. But truly to your conscience, no, until we get bold judges who would say, certificate no enye enough until me certificate na onkoda that's a nipa free mu awaba say one wife until we get there no that is the position of the law. It is a be man free mu jana on the grounds he en cancel certificate no oba no will be entitled to a portion of Oberman estate by virtue of being a wife.
Me follow na me throw back door why
Mati you bit my one sided divorce man.